Hi, and welcome to the live stream. I can't tell you where I am, but I am finished from the trail. I just completed the John Muir Trail. It was about a week ago that I got done, and now, settling back into my normal life. I got sick for a little bit. Now I'm back. I did my food delivery job yesterday, so I'm just getting back in the regular. Excited to be back here with you all. Aldo is the first person that said anything. Yes, I am going live still. Yep, confirmed. Starting at the time I said I would, right? I hope that the time YouTube told you I was going live was the right time. I always intended on it being 6 p.m. Hello, work less, enjoy life more. Hi, Eddie. Welcome back. Thank you. Waylon says, woot. Glad you all are here. B says, upstate New York says, hey. Very exciting. Very exciting. That is a great place. What are you all up to today? Telcaster says, how goes the trail? It was really hard, but a big experience overall, and I'm glad I did it. Gabe says, hello. I think the up and down orientation of this video and the lighting is making my face look so weird right now. It's hard to get past. Catherine says, hi, Maddie the Marvelous. Oh, thank you. Susan, hi from Florida. Great. Glad you all are here. Really excited to have you. So, just want to do a quick sound check. It sounds like you all can hear what I'm saying, but how is the sound quality? There is a lot of wind in here. You might be able to see there's a highway not too far away from here. I'm not sure if we're picking up the noise. So if you all could give me a thumbs up or thumbs down about the sound quality. Otto says, your videos of the trail are good, especially the views. Oh, great. I'm glad you like them. Salik says, good to see you. Waylon says, audio video, good, good, good. Sounds like everyone is doing good. Eric says, focus is off. I'm not sure what to do about that, honestly. It looks, in my screen, it's okay, so I don't know. I'll tilt the camera forward a little more, and hopefully the camera knows to focus on me specifically. Gosh, the lighting is so weird. I look like a crocodile today. A beautiful crocodile, though. Oh, yay! Mitchell with the beer stipend, yay! Homer, Alaska, burger and beer. Aw, thank you so much. That's so nice of you. You rock. Otto said, did you wash your shirt in the lake today? Oh, no, I didn't. Wash it in a washing machine. The disappointing thing, though, is that it was stained with dirt last time, and now there's still dirt on it. And I dried it, too, without realizing it, so I think that it's baked in there, There's no things. Oh, new beginning adjusted resolution. Okay, good, good, good. And Jay Gannon says, Jay says, thanks for letting me be there. Oh, well, I am glad you are along on the journey. All of you are very much appreciated, and I'm so glad you're here chatting with me. This is so fun. For most of today, I've been working on YouTube stuff, and it's good to be here talking to you all because, you're the people that make it all possible, make it worth me doing. It could just be me putting videos out and no one really interacting with me, but you all being here make it make it a lot more fun and a lot more enjoyable. CC Camper Lady says, hi, Maddie. Hi. Glad you're joining us. Aldo says, OMG, are you comfy sitting like that? As much as I can be. I wish I had a backrest. I got my arm propped up right here on my shoe basket, but I never sit like this. You know, I'm sitting on the floor facing my bed. Sometimes I sit here and, put my legs out that way, but this is the only shady place I could find. If you look at where I am, and here I can even pan the camera. Wow. Well, I put my cover up because of the shade, but if you look at where I am, it is a very sunny place. Zero trees whatsoever. So, no shade. And 5 minutes before I started this live, I was about to be back there where my chair was, but then I was like, there's shade here. That helps. I was getting sweaty just starting my, getting the stuff all set up, and I was like, oh, I don't want to be here during a full live. I'll be so hot. So, found a good spot. Oh, CEO of Memes read my mind. Yes, it is scorching where I am. It could be worse, but it is very sunny and very hot. So many good comments coming in. Telcaster says, how's your van running? It's good. It still has all the not notifications, that's a cell phone word, but when I start it, there's lights that come on the dashboard, and those are so frustrating. If you saw my video, I filmed it in Minnesota, but this was like September. Oh, $5 from Sarah. Thank you. You guys, this is so exciting. Thank you. I feel so treated. But my van had some troubles around this time last year. It was September, so we're getting close to 1 year. But yeah, it's still running. It's still getting me where I need to go. Salik says, where are you going next? It is a surprise. I want to keep my whereabouts kind of on the down low, but I only have 5 more states to go, so it's very exciting. Eric says, I am glad I saw the invitation for the video. Good, good, good. I'm glad you saw it too. Sarah says, hi, Maddie. Good to see you. Hope you're feeling better. I am. So, about a week ago, I finished the trail. The day I got back to my van, I went grocery shopping. I could not stop snacking for anything. Like, if you remember the children's book, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, that was me. I could not stop eating. Then that night, I was feeling really stuffed, and then I threw up, and then I threw up 4 more times. So, that kind of led me, for a day, I was like, oh, I'm just tired and feel awful because of the staying up and not sleeping and throwing up. But then I started thinking I had a stomach bug. Finally, on day 3 of feeling bad, I started to feel better, and now I'm doing okay. I've been to the gym. I've been eating normal, so I am feeling better. Thank you very much for asking. Jay says, your plant is the cutest, most practical. Thank you. It's actually fake. I got it at the dollar section of Target. There's another one too. I'll move my toothbrush bag, but that one is also plastic. I did used to have a real plant in my van, but then I left it in my hometown on my last visit. So, Yeah, I missed that plant. It was my company. Alrighty, at least you have a nice view. I do. Waylon, are you in the high desert? I think, I know I'm in the Great Basin. I'm not sure about the high desert, but it's very, as you can see, it's just sage bushes forever and ever. No cacti, not a whole lot of plant diversity. And the hills, oh, they're so cool. You all see that rolling hillsness up there. Here, I'll take you out of the van. Oh, gonna use some ab strength. Look. Okay. Hopefully that was a good view. I couldn't really see what I was filming. Oh gosh. Goodness me. Okay. Do you have any ale for this live? No, not really. Since I've been sick, I'm not really in the beer drinking mood, even though I'm better now. Just the thought of anything heavy or weird on the stomach, ooh, no thank ya. All right, so Steve, great to see you live, my friend. Thank you, glad to be back. Only 5 more states, yep. Your JMT videos were great. Oh, thank you so much. I spent today finishing up the one that'll premiere tomorrow morning. If you're a patron, you probably already saw that I already have a little early release of that video. So that's ready to go when you want to watch it. If you're a member on Patreon, sorry. And everyone else, it'll be available tomorrow morning. CEO Meme says, you're going to tell us your best and worst after the 50 states are done? Yes, definitely. I can't wait for that. I've thought of I guess a documentary type video I want to make of like a sum up of all that I've done and a little bit, not just like blah, 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 vlogging, but like a very reflective piece. For example, like the short video that you see first on my channel that says start here, and it talks about how I started traveling, how I started being in beautiful places, kind of something like that, where it's a lot of narration and me saying, and instead of me like talking off the top of my head and just telling you my thoughts, having something written out and like expressing it in a meaningful way. So yeah, definitely that. And I think it would be also fun for people to be like, where was the best ice cream? Where was the coolest clouds you saw? And all those sorts of things. Jay Gannon said, thumbs up from a talented musician. Thank you. Evan says, the gym fixes everything. Telcaster said, glad you're all better. Thank you. Aldo says, maybe it was a BBQ flavor style ranch. That was a while ago that I ate that, but who knows? CC Camper Lady says, lovely background. Thank you. Kiwi Cake Full says, I was going to ask about the snack picks after that long trail, but never mind. Oh, thank you. Zeke, hi. Glad you're here. Telcaster said, how were the mosquitoes compared to other trails? I think about the same as other trails. They were definitely there, but they weren't crazy. The craziest mosquitoes of my life were on the Superior hiking trail in Minnesota. And now that I've had that experience, I don't think anything will ever come close. Even when I was in the Everglades, there were bad mosquitoes, but I could still exist outside. So yeah, JMT mosquitoes, not bad at all. Sarah says, beautiful. Thank you. Catherine says, so happy you're feeling better. Thank you. I am too. Sarah says, what was your favorite experience or place along the JMT? Ooh, man. Swimming in an alpine lake comes to mind, but I was just in there for a few seconds because it was really cold. I think you'll see this in my videos coming up, but it was the morning of my birthday and I climbed up Forester Pass, which is the last big mountain pass before Mount Whitney. And I met some people on top of the pass that gave me whiskey and sang to me, and it was such a beautiful moment, because on one hand it was like, yeah, cool, I just climbed up someplace high, and then on the other hand it was like, oh my goodness, I'm turning 30 years old today, big milestone. And the trail is kind of a metaphor for life. Really hard, but you just keep going, and then looking back on the view, everything will feel worth it in the end. So I think that was my best experience on the trail. Jay says she is one with the nature epic, a treasure to watch. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. John says, hi Maddie, when did you finally get your trail legs? That would probably be about the 4th day. Yep, because on the 4th day, that was when I did Donahue Pass, and it was hard, but it didn't put me on my butt like the first day of climbing up from Happy Isles, going up to Nevada Falls and all that. Douglas says, hey Maddie, just checking in and glad you're feeling well. The JMT is amazing. So I hear one day. Yes, you definitely should. That's awesome. That's great. Waylon says, I'm curious if you use AAA or a similar service for your trip. Well, listen, today I've been responding to some of the comments from the video where my tire blew out and a bunch of bad things happened after that. So AAA does definitely seem like a good idea, but my plans are to finish the 50 states, or 48 states at first, and then hang out in my van for a while, and then for the holidays go to my hometown and then start preparing for either the Appalachian Trail or whatever adventure is next. I'm still deciding. So point being, I don't know if I'm going to be on the road for a whole nother year. I wish they had a half-year option. I haven't really even looked into that, so maybe. But anyway, to answer your question, no AAA yet, although it would have been a good idea when I first started. And Magnolia says, hey, can only listen. I'm door dashing. Oh, cool. But here, dude, I was door dashing yesterday. I hope you're having an okay day, because I was not yesterday. I made like $12 an hour, and usually it's over 15. So not good. Oh, Marco from Michigan here, having one of your beers right now. Oh, yay! If anyone else in the chat doesn't really know what he's talking about, Marco was one of 2 winners from my last giveaway. So I mailed him, and I think it was Marvin from Painfully Average, some beers. So if anyone is new here, stick around and you might even win yourself some beer sometime. And also says, man, when you started the JMT, it was one of the most beautiful scenes I have ever seen. Yes, it was really cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it as much as I did. Sleek says, happy birthday, and so does my Savannah. Thank you all so much. Everyone's saying happy birthday. Thank you. Jay says, look at that background. You can't imagine the immersed desolation. There is a road right here, so we're not completely desolated yet, but it is. There are some definitely big areas in our country, in the U.S. I should say. It's not our country because I'm sure the people in this chat are from all over the world. Anyway, Matt Stratton. Maddie should do daily affirmations and random bloopers every day at 10 a.m. Oh, that'd be so funny. I think a lot of days I would just be like, I'm tired. Why am I doing this? CEO Memes, $1. Thank you. I appreciate that. There's so many good things you can do with just $1. So many treats you can buy. Oh, today I got cookies at the grocery store because it's my birthday-ish. So I was like, you know what? I am not buying beer today. I can spend a little extra money on a treat in the form of cookies. So anyway, CEO Mean says, here's $1 for happy birthday. Thank you. Tim Farnes says, keep up your awesome adventures. 30 years trying to have sympathy for you, but I'm 60. Well, I do not feel sorry for myself, so thank you for trying to have sympathy, but that is not needed. B. Russo says, happy belated. Be proud of your accomplishments. Oh, thank you very much. Steve, $5. We're along for the ride. Oh, yay. You rock. Appreciate that. Thomas says, happy birthday. Allison, so glad you made it back. Thank you. Evan says, I'm from the Louisville, Kentucky area and going to try solo backpacking at Red River. Oh, interesting. Can't make it on this trip with you, but best of luck. I'm sure it will be a good time. Masavana said, what kind of wildlife did you bump into? You did the entire JMT? I sure did. And the wildlife I saw, nothing too big. I heard what might have been coyotes. $20 from John Swan. Oh, you guys are spoiling me in this chat today. John, thank you so much. All you guys that have given me a little money, that is so generous of you. I feel like a queen. Thank you. But back to animals on the JMT. There was just a bunch of different rodents and stuff. Saw some deer. Yeah, nothing too dangerous, but I guess that's a good thing in the grand scheme of things. Eric says, happy birthday. Thank you. Mitchell, how was the summit? Oh, well, it was very hard to get to. But I hiked under moonlight because I was trying to get there for sunrise. So it was nighttime when I started, and the moon was full or just about full, and it was so cool. The summit itself, it didn't really hit me as much as I thought it would. It was weird, because like after the sun had rose and everything, like I was officially finished with the trail, and I was like, man, you know, like this is not what I pictured it feeling like. But sometimes in life it's just like that, you know. It's not the perfect moment all the time. Sometimes it's just, oh, you're done. So, okay. Not what I was expecting, but okay. Catherine says, happy birthday-ish. Thank you. Wow, I really don't know if to continue watching you live or to continue watching JMT Part 2. Yeah, do the latter later. It'll still be there when the live is over. And if you wanted to, you could save JMT Part 2 for tomorrow and then watch it and then immediately watch Part 3 that's coming out. Hi, Adrian. Hi, Adrian. Glad to have you. And while people are saying happy birthday and everything, I guess it's a good time to break out. Maria Rose says, howdy. Hi back. Glad you're here. But it's time to break out my birthday cookies. Jay Gannon says, sucks now that you are so fit and nature harmonized, you can't keep that deep state up anymore. I know what you mean, yeah. I did think about, like, what if I just start walking, like, 15 miles a day, like, just for fun. But then it's also like, oh, I need to work on videos. But that would be cool if I could just stay in nature forever, right? Stay fit. Gone Pharaoh with Squidly. Hey, old friend. How you doing? Glad to have ya. Rod said happy birthday. My baby Blue says the same thing. What was your pack weight on the JMT? My pack weight, I weighed it after a resupply with full water, and it was 30 pounds. It wasn't a particularly exact scale that I was weighing it on. It was at VVR, if you're familiar with places on the JMT, but I don't want to know exactly how much my pack weighs, because then I think it'll just get into my head too much, like I'll be thinking like, oh man, I could not be carrying this extra Band-Aid, and I don't want to split hairs, but it was about 30 pounds. Squidly is doing good. Glad to catch you on here too, sir. Aldo says be careful and don't stuff yourself again. Oh no, don't you worry. Yeah, after I got sick from eating too much, if it was sickness from eating too much, it could be I ate something bad. I did have a whole lot of produce that day. Patty Collins says, hi Maddie, welcome back. Thank you. Glad to be back. Sunflower Joy, hello. Glad you're here. Oh, Marco says happy birthday. Everyone's saying happy birthday. So I was thinking for this live we would have a bit of a birthday party. Everyone pick one of these cookies and pretend it's yours, and then just imagine yourself here with me eating that cookie, here with me and everyone else in chat. We got a pretty cool group of people that comes and hangs out on my lives, and I appreciate that. What kind of cookies have you? Oh, they are mini M&M. Destinations. Such a journey, gal. Yep. Very true. So I got these at the grocery store today. It was a new grocery store I'd never been to. That's always fun, just exploring new stores. I don't know. I think it's because I try to find the everyday interesting. And then on this trip, it's been like a new grocery store. Whoa, cool. Always somewhere new to be. Happy B-Day. Who'da thunk Maddie was a Leo? Well, I think the fact that I have a YouTube channel is very Leo of me. For those of you not familiar with astrology, Leos are known for being very full of themselves, very like, ooh, everybody look at me. So I think having a YouTube channel, very Leo. Jared said, do you think a van the size of yours is suitable for one person and a cat? Personally, I would not have a cat in here because I feel like I'm already filled to the brim with all my outdoor gear, and I don't know where I would keep a litter box and food, and during the day, like where would the cat hang out? But I also have seen other channels of people with cats and dogs in their minivans. So maybe it would be okay if from the start you had all that stuff ready to go. You had it from the beginning, Because, like, for example, when I was wishing I could just get normal tires and have a spare tire in case one ever pops again, I was like, man, there is literally no room for a spare tire now. What you have in the beginning is what you get used to. Gabe said, you should listen to the Altered Image song, Happy Birthday, later. Okay. Remind me at the end. I will. Altered Image, Happy Birthday. Got it. Aldo said, your wristwatch is very iconic since it's in all the videos. Oh, thank you. It's from Target. The brand is... Okay, that doesn't want to focus. The brand is Marathon. It's a good one. Very convenient, especially when I was on trail, because I could use it for an alarm clock instead of my phone. Aldo says, do you like to lightly microwave cookies and eat them with cold milk? That is interesting. I've never microwaved a cookie before. Yeah, that sounds really nice, but that's not something I usually do. Telcaster says, how heavy do you think your pack was? It was 30 pounds. I weighed it when I was at VVR. Oh, the Lake Tahoe Trail is calling to you. I actually already did that one, though. This was before my YouTube days. But it was 2019, and that was my first through hike, was the Tahoe Rim Trail. Charlotte, Wendy, yay. Glad you guys are here. Telcaster also asked, was it fairly easy to carry? I mean, I think any backpack you have, you're going to get frustrated with carrying it. I wouldn't call it easy. Also, if you watch the first video, the way it sat on my hips isn't great. I spent months looking for a backpack that would fit, and eventually I just had to pick one. So I don't know if there's a backpack out there that would fit me, but yeah. So I wouldn't say it was easy to carry, but it was 30 pounds. Ryan said, how did your solar charger work? It was really good. I could get up to 40 to 60% battery charge on my phone because of that, and it worked even better when I could connect my phone to the solar panel directly instead of charging up a power bank and then plugging my phone in, if that makes sense. Kiwi Cake Full says, do you prefer to take the backways or highways when driving around through the states? Probably highways, honestly. Just the fastest way possible, because I hate long drives. Sometimes I like long drives, but now that I've been doing this for a while now, I want to get there as soon as possible. So whichever way is fastest. Otto says, what kind of music do you listen to when driving down long roads? I listen to a lot of podcasts, mostly. I prefer that to music because then I have something I'm actively thinking about and it just seems to pass the time faster. But let's see. Sometimes I listen to like today's top hits or like summer jams. Sometimes I listen to, especially in the mornings, like Hollow Co's and Camp with 2 A's. Just kind of more mellow vibes. Wendy says, how's your leg doing? It's good. Thank you for asking. Those first couple of days on trail, it hurt. But I think that one time I was putting my stuff from my tent away and it hurt kind of randomly. That's the last time I remember thinking about it. So it healed up pretty fast, actually, in the grand scheme of things. Jay Gannon says, try Osprey packs, my only fave that fits me. I actually did try Osprey on in the process of finding a backpack and just didn't do it for me. Greetings from Pittsburgh. Hi, Larry. Glad you're here. Charlotte says a little noisy from car, but overall good. If you're meaning the sound quality because of the highway behind me, that's good. There's not much I could do about that besides close the door, and I would bake alive if I did that. For anyone just joining us, I'm having a cookie to celebrate my birthday, and you all, I wish I could send you cookies through the screen, but maybe you can imagine. Ma Savannah said, before you come back east for the AT, consider visiting and hiking the Rogue River Trail. It's 40-ish miles from near Agnes, Oregon to Grand Pass, Oregon. It's a splendid hike. Oh, interesting. 40-ish miles. That would take a few days, but not a whole week, so that'd be a good length trail. I don't know if I'll go back up to Oregon again. It wasn't in my plans, but maybe. Sounds like a cool trail. Rod already has his cookies and beer. Good. Glad to hear it, buddy. Arlo said, what's your favorite food? I have a really weird relationship with food where stuff I enjoy, I also feel guilty while eating. So there's never one perfect food that tastes good and I don't feel bad about. Maybe strawberries, I'd say. Mac and cheese is my comfort food, but at the same time, I also get mad at myself while eating mac and cheese. So, whatevs. Wendy said, happy birthday. Thank you. Remember any... not sure what you are meaning. I know you're talking about backpacks, but I don't know what 5,000cc means. Yeah. Eric says, they haven't invented smell-o-vision yet. Oh, wouldn't that be cool, though? Allison says, do you see yourself sticking to the nomadic life after you visit all the states? Definitely. I would say I've been nomadic since college. And while I'm thinking in my 30s, eventually I want more consistency in my life. I want to be in a group of people constantly instead of moving around on my own. And I just want more normalcy and a rhythm and consistency, basically. In my 30s, I want all those things eventually, but not right away. So maybe for another year or two, and then I'll settle down, potentially. Jay again says, there is a rod in your backpack that you must bend to your spine, yet it takes someone who knows what they are doing to do that. That is interesting. I have been to several outdoor stores and to get fitted for packs. Is it like a specialty pack that happens with, or do most people that work at REI not know about that or something? Very interesting stuff you're bringing up. Otto says, do you play video games or games on your phone? No, neither. Not really my thing. I waste my time in other ways, I suppose. Larry says, happy friggin' birthday! Love your videos. Thank you. I work so hard on them. I'm really glad to hear that. I did get very sunburnt on the trail, as you might be able to still see. Telecaster says, were you nervous without your bear spray? Yeah, not especially for bears, because grizzly bears don't exist in California, and that was the main bear I was scared of. But I wish I would have been able to have some sort of device to protect me against people with bad intentions, you know? Normally I would be carrying pepper spray, but instead of that, this time I had bear spray, and then that was taken away. So I was more scared of people than bears. And then Magnolia says, scariest moment with a wild animal. Haven't really had one, honestly. Even though I feel like I'm out in nature a lot, haven't had one. Alright, Jay Gannon, I will try to see if there's a rod in my pack. I'll give it a look, man. I'll check it out. Larry says, what's your favorite state so far? Well, Larry, how could I ever choose that? You know, they're all so good. If I my experience in each state has a lot to do with the weather. Did I find a place that was had the kind of hike I wanted to go on, or the kind of adventure I want to go on? Did I let myself spend a little bit of money, or did I stick to my budget super strictly? So all those things are kind of subjective, so I can't really pick a favorite state. Yeah. My Savannah said, remember when you and your dad used to go on hikes around Kentucky before you bought the van? Yeah. We did. That was the very beginning of my channel. I knew I wanted to make travel videos, but I was stuck in my hometown, so yeah, thanks for remembering that. Who took my bear spray? It is illegal on the JMT, so when I was getting my permit from a ranger, they were like, blah, 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 bear spray is not allowed. And I was like, oh gosh, I have bear spray. And they were like, oh, okay, well, we'll take it from you. Or at first they were like, okay, just put it in a trash can. Oh, wait, we'll dispose of it for you. Because you know how when stuff goes into a truck, it gets compacted, and that's I forget the word for it, but it's a bottle. You don't want to do that too. So the JMT Rangers took it from me, sadly. Wendy said, do you have any idea where you plan to visit this winter? Yes, I'm planning to visit Alaska in the winter. I'm also going to be making a lot of videos that recap where I've been, and videos about planning for the future, just because I am definitely going to need a break in those winter months. Traveling this past winter was it was a little hard. Not having access to a warm place to hang out. Salik says that black bear was cool. Maybe that's, yeah, it was cool. I think you said that in reference to me talking about not having a run-in with a wild animal. Yeah, it was really cool. It was far away, but still seeing it in person was awesome. I said, have you thought about how your children/grandchildren are going to see your videos in the future and think how dope you were? I actually don't want kids, so I can't really see that happening. But, yeah. I hope the people of the future in general that know me think it was cool. I hope especially future me thinks it's cool to look back on all those videos. GS Boss said, you listen to any podcasts on the road? Yep, that's my main source of entertainment. You're Wrong About, that's the name of the podcast, has been my favorite recently. They talk about just like random cultural things that you might not know all the information about. It's pretty interesting. I also listen to Tube Talk, which is about YouTube stuff, and Dirtbag Diaries. In fact, Dirtbag Diaries tells people stories usually that take place in the outdoors or have to do with the outdoors. And I wrote to them about Road Trip Brew SA, and they said it needed more emotion in the story, and I emailed back and I was like, it's actually been a very emotional trip. Like, I told them about my car trouble in Minnesota and money trouble throughout, and but I think they were already full with stories for this year, so yeah. So if you see on the screen this like dark thing right there, it's just a shadow, but it looked weird on my screen, so I was investigating. If you're familiar with my lives, a viewer named Hey Just Hookah likes to tell me there's things behind me that aren't really there. Painfully Average, hello. We were just talking about giveaways a little while ago. So your name has already been brought up once and you just got here. Again, it says, say top 5 then, Maddie. We really want to know. With my favorite states. Ooh, interesting. I am going to save that first because I can't think on my feet that quickly to come up with a top 5 off the top of my head. And also that would be a good video topic. So maybe it's coming soon. Okay, what I'm trying to say is maybe that will be coming soon. I haven't started planning it yet, but that would be a good video. Eric Scarl says, what kind of thoughts come into your head? Out by myself, I remember all the stupid things I did in my most bappy moments. Oh, well. Sorry, reading ahead instead of listening to I was reading the comments ahead instead of thinking about what you're saying, how I'm going to answer that. Honestly, on the JMT, a lot of times I thought about stuff in college that happened that I guess I hadn't moved on from. I was part of an organization, but I also was part of an umbrella organization that helped everyone, and I could see that other groups were having a lot easier time because they had more members. So I said, we need more members. I tried to run for president, but I wasn't elected, and that was it was hurtful, and it was kind of confusing because on paper I was the most qualified, so I don't know what I did. And then after I left college, that organization had to close down because there wasn't enough members. Could I have saved us? I don't know. Probably not, honestly. But it's still something I'm like, why didn't they give me a chance? So, that's what I think about when I'm on trail. Stuff that's happened in the past that I should be over by now, but I'm not. Focus on Being Nice says, are you out of gas? The Beatles help. I'm not out of gas. I am sitting here having a live showing you all the beautiful area I'm in, all these sage bushes, all these mountains. Here, let's do another look outside. Very hilly, very vast. I love it. Do you have a trail dance? No, I don't. Sounds like fun, though. Mitchell says, well, see you in Homer. All right, I'll see you then. Okay. Oh, yeah, if I have a trail dance, I need to show you. Yeah, that'd be funny. Allison said, welcome to the Child Free Club. Oh, yeah. Sabrina says, hello. Oh, great. Larry doesn't want kids either. Aldo said, would you ever do travel videos of trails outside the USA? Yes, I would love to. That is one of my ideas, if I don't do the Appalachian Trail, is go abroad and just keep making travel videos. Daniel said, how far along are you? I am on state number 45 of 50. Telcaster says, how have your water filters performed? How many fillings are they good for? Are they pricey? The water filters I use on the trail are, I forget the name of the brand, Sawyer. It's really convenient because you can just attach it to the top of the water bottle and drink out of it like a straw. I've been using one for about 3 years on the trail. I got a new one. I lost it. You'll see how in the videos. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's not bad. Someone wanted to see the outside, but slower. Okay, here we go. By the way, this is how I'm showing you this, okay? So that's why I'm going fast, because I'm literally hanging out of my door. Okay, that's all my abs could take. Here we go, setting that back down. Please stop falling over. New Beginning says that's beautiful. Thank you, it is. Aldo says, can you provide us with your favorite YouTubers, please? I don't watch YouTube regularly. I usually watch it just to do research on video styles and how, if I'm going to a certain place, I might look it up ahead of time to see how someone else filmed it, see if I can get ideas or get like, oh, I don't really like how they did that, I think I'm going to try something else. Just inspiration like that. So yeah, I watch Adventure Archives sometimes. Sometimes I watch this couple that I forget the name of. They actually live in this area. They have a dog named Blue, I think. No, their last name is Blue. It's Victoria and Cody, or Cody and Victoria. That's the name of the channel. Kara and Nate. But like I said, I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube, so I don't have a favorite YouTuber, I wouldn't say. Jake Gannon says, long distance backpackers usually go chemical. For me, it was 2 drops. That's interesting because most people I ran onto on trail, and when I do short trails and they intersect with the PCT or something, I usually see them with the Sawyer. So that's interesting. How does the water taste? It depends on the creek you get it out of, honestly. Masavana says, after all the thought on the topic, why do you think they didn't give you a chance? I don't know, and that's a thing that bothers me. I'll never know, and it was 10 years ago. Or a little less, maybe more like 8. But who knows? Maddie, you are a poet. Thank you. I don't know what I said that made you say that, but I appreciate it. Rod says, please don't fall out on your head. Okay, I'll try. Tanya says, hi, Maddie. Hey, Tanya. Welcome. Glad you're here. Larry said, so nice. Thank you. Otto said, do you think you have an accent? Where is your accent from? People tell me I do. I think I have a general American accent, first of all, and then sometimes it gets a little bit twangy because I went to college in Eastern Kentucky. And also, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, and sometimes people there have accents. They don't think they do, but they do, and it kind of rubbed off on me. Allison says, have you ever considered going to a van life meetup or event? Yeah, definitely. In fact, lately I've been searching for them because I'm not really in a hurry to get done with the rest of the states. I'm trying to drag it out for a little bit. So I've been trying to look up one that's coming up, and I haven't found any. So yes, I would love to go to a van meetup. I just, usually because I have states I'm trying to get through before a certain time or something like that, I just haven't had a chance to yet. But I wanna. Kiwi says, why did you have to go so far each day to legally be able to set up camp? That was just in Lyle Canyon. I think it was day 3 of the JMT, but that was just in that specific area, and it's because there are actually on second thought, it's not just that area, but places where there are like paid campgrounds that like have bear bins and a latrine. They don't want you to camp in proximity to those because then, you could just use the resources that they're providing for their campers, but you aren't paying, so you're not helping fund the stuff, if that makes sense. So it's just in certain areas on the JMT that you're not supposed to camp, certain areas. Larry says, Kentucky possibly? Yes, I am from Kentucky. Camping Alan says, hello from Ouray, Colorado. Hi. Aldo says, do you believe in Jesus and do you pray? That is not a question I was expecting to get. I do believe Jesus was a real person that walked on earth. I am not very religious, though. Do I pray? Not really. When I was a kid, I prayed fervently for peace in the world, and that was like during like post 9/11 times. So if you look at that and you like, okay, first there was a war in Afghanistan, then it spread to Iraq, then something about Syria, yeah. And the world did not get more peaceful, so I was like, okay, maybe this is not the thing for me. So no, I do not pray. Allison says, I believe there is one in Bend sometime this fall. That'd be fun. I'm not going up to Oregon, I don't think, but maybe I'll change my plan. That sounds really nice. Starshine says, hi, Maddie. I made it. Just got back from hiking with my kids. How fun. That must be awesome. Andrew says, hi, Maddie. Greetings from Canada. Hello, Andrew. Welcome to the chat. Zachary says, you ever sustain yourself on delivery apps? I've been looking for getting a van and wondering if I can pay my bills with those apps. Yeah, I don't know if you are saying that because of this video or you actually haven't heard of it yet, but yes, I do those apps, especially DoorDash. I have a video about a typical day spent door dashing, if you are familiar. And yeah, that is how I make money in addition to a little bit from YouTube. Mitchell says, opening a Deschutes Black Butte Porter. I think you told me about that beer, and you said to go get that next time with all this beer stipend you've been giving me. So I will. Looking forward to that. I'm remembering the name. Descend on Bend is the name. You know, I've actually heard of that. I saw that when I was searching for other things. Jay Gannon says, religious too often dissuades the spiritual. Jasper says, background looks amazing. Thanks for sharing your journey with us all. Thank you. I appreciate it. You enjoy the rest of your day too. Tanya says, Maddie, there is an Indiana outdoor YouTuber meetup in October. Oh, cool. Let's see. No, in October I'm still going to be out here. Darn it. Thank you, though. Maybe next time. That would be really cool. I'll be back that way around Christmas, but I'm planning to spend up until Christmas out here in the West. Just because, it's so far away, hard to get out here. Hi, Tiny Fairy. How are ya? Welcome, welcome. Otto says, sorry I'm annoying you with my questions. It's just interesting. Oh, go right ahead. That's what a live is for. And without people asking questions, I wouldn't know what to talk about, It's supposed to be a conversation, so you just ask away, sir. El Marco says, go to the RTR in Quartzsite, Arizona. It's in January sometime. In January I'll be back east. Bummer. BBB Yips, also known as Roger, says hello. Hi, glad you're here. Evan says, will you do a get-together anytime soon? I don't think so. I'm not planning on it. I don't think my channel is really big enough to do a get-together. You all are wonderful. I've gotten to know so many great people from all around, but we're from all around, so maybe someday, but I don't think I have a big enough channel to really have a get together anytime soon. Tiny Fairy says, you made it, meaning I finished the trail? Yes, I did. Thank you. Tiny says, glad you're staying out there and spending some time there. It's beautiful. It is, especially like Arizona and Utah. There was so much. I was like, I have to come back to this. Mom says, will you be doing more through trails in the West? Is that why you will stay out there so long? Or are you staying somewhere? No, I'm just planning to hang out in my van, not planning to do any more through hikes for the rest of the year. I'm just wanting to enjoy out west and living in my van before heading back east. Jagan said, LOL, she is more than interesting. She is nature connected. I think I already... Oh, no, that was a different comment. Well, thank you, Jay Gannon. Roger said, just got home from help training a dog. Oh, that sounds interesting. Celeste says, what's the highest peak you ever climbed? Well, thanks for asking. I just climbed Mount Whitney a week ago. The tallest peak in the contiguous 48 states. Before that, I think the tallest I had climbed might have been Mount Bierstadt in Colorado or the San Gorgonio in Southern California. I don't know which of the two is taller. I think they're both 14ers. Tiny Fairy says, are you tired from the trail? Not really. The first night sleeping in a bed was awesome because I could stretch out. I had a real pillow. Thank goodness. I was warm. I didn't have to worry about rain. I didn't have to worry about waking up and hurrying to get on trail. The first night I slept amazing. Since things have gone back to normal. Now I am on 10% of my phone battery left, so I am going to have to say goodbye here in a minute. But let's see how many questions I can get answered before then. Otto says, you have a skincare hair care routine. No, I do not. I wash my face when I get a chance. And that's about it. Celeste says, woohoo, congratulations, thank you. Oh, Marco says, do you have any van lifers you follow? Not really. On Instagram, I follow Divine on the Road because I found her during the pandemic when I was trying to build up my Instagram. So I kind of just followed it as a, like, show me what you're doing and then I'll do it type thing to grow and reach more people. That's really the only van lifer I follow. And that's just like, I don't really like following people online because it feels like following a celebrity, you know, just like, not really that interested. Sherry Ann says, congrats for doing the trail. Thank you. Roger says, this winter you need to come to Michigan and go to Frank and Luth. They have the largest Christmas store in the world, plus they have several different breweries. You can drink your beer. Oh, that sounds fun. Tiny Fairy says, I was praying for you. Thank you. Earlier in this live, I was talking about how I don't really pray, but when people tell me they pray for me, I still, you know, I know that's coming from the heart, even though that's not something I do. I really, you know, it's a nice thing to hear that someone's been praying for you, so thank you. Tanya says, good night, good to see you, thank you. Jay Gannon says, an honor, thanks for sharing your profound state, Maddie, thank you. Waylon says, enjoy the sunset, it's gonna be a whopper, yeah! And it's, where I am, you can't really see, but it's very flat. There's a lot of sky. Frank and Muth, hard to text. I had a feeling that might have been a typo, something. Mitchell says, time to chill. Yup. I think what I'm going to do next is heat up my food. It's leftover rice and veggies that I'm going to put some teriyaki sauce on. Think I read all those. Oh, Kiwi Kful says, if you were to do it again, would you bring a real pillow? Oh, no. If I brought something this big in my backpack, I would be so mad. Plus, it would get wet. So, no, I think my system of putting my clothes in that little, well, you'll see later. I guess this video hasn't come out yet, but there's a place in my sleeping bag that has a slot for you to put your clothes in place of a pillow, and that was the second best option. Maybe next trail I'll find an inflatable one to bring, because that is, it just helps me get comfy so much more than anything else. Catherine says, I always pray for you. Thank you. You're so sweet. Allison says, has a great night. Thank you. You too. Rod said, check out Van City. I have before. I've seen his videos. Yeah, good stuff. Sherry Ann says, my hubs is doing the trail at the end of the month. Oh, that's great. I met so many people on trail of all different ages. I am sure he can do it. That's awesome of him. Aldo says, were you ever scared you wouldn't make it to your next objective spot to camp and the JMT? Honestly, not really. Because I would usually stop around 5. Sometimes more towards 7, and it would get dark at 8. So I was never walking in the dark, and even if I did, I could just turn on my headlamp. So no, that wasn't really something I was scared of. Camping Allen says, congrats on your hike and look forward to more of your adventures. Thank you. Anthony Bruce, I'm just having Kool-Aid today, no beer. I was sick less than a week ago, so not really feeling the alcohol right now. Eric says, maybe not a celebrity, but I see you as a champion. Oh, thank you. That's so nice. Wendy says, Maddie, you're very inspiring. Thanks for sharing your travels. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for watching. Roger says, gonna send you another small amount Venmo tonight. Ah, so exciting. Thank you. New Beginning says, I like to see a bloopers video one day. Well, anything I do that I think is humorous, I just leave in the video. So, Yeah, I don't know if I have many bloopers saved up. Have a good evening. Thank you. You too. RB says, hi, Maddie. What a beautiful place there. Hey, bud. Glad you're here, but I am actually about to end this because my phone is dying. Salik says, have a nice evening. Thank you. You too. Oh, I appreciate the prayers. Thanks. You're always so inspiring. Thank you. You're brave for doing that alone. Thank you. I had a lot of practice, going on short hikes alone. Camping Allen, thumbs up all. Yes, if you can, give me a like. Those of you that are watching, it really helps me out. Marco says thanks for the chat. See you on the next live or video. Yep, tomorrow morning. JMT Part 3. Evan says, do you ever stop smiling? Yes, when I'm not on live chat, I sure do. I'm just trying to be a fun person to talk to, really. Tiny Fairy, how's your hip? All good. Thank you. Rod says, stay awesome, stay safe. Thank you. Same to you. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your night.